Greetings and welcome to another edition of Practical Assertion. We're glad that you're interested enough to view our videos as we offer a creative yet practical perspective to get you thinking. This week we have entitled this edition, Pay Attention to the Forecast. And it was inspired by a weather phenomenon that we experienced earlier this week known as fog. As you can see, the fog was pretty thick, limiting visibility to less than a quarter mile. I was intrigued, as I am always when it comes to God's order of things. It amazes me to just observe how things happen in nature, and as always, I try to make some practical application with those occurrences. As it relates to the fog, I did a little research and found out that fog, according to Wikipedia, is a complex atmospheric phenomenon. It is a visible mass consisting of cloud water droplets or ice crystals suspended in the air at or near the Earth's surface. Fog can be considered a type of low-lying cloud and is heavily influenced by nearby water, bodies of water, topography, and wind conditions. In turn, fog has affected many human activities such as shipping, travel, and warfare. Fog forms when the difference between the air temperature and the dew point is generally less than 4 degrees Fahrenheit. Fog can form suddenly and can dissipate just as rapidly. This idea of fog limiting visibility is what I would like to focus on before we consider other changes in the weather. If you've ever heard anyone refer to themselves as being in the fog, or maybe even having felt that way yourself, you know where I'm going with this. As it relates to your relationships, whether it be with your love interest, your family, your friends, co-workers, etc., sometimes your visibility can be hindered. As with fog, it is referred to as a phenomenon because it suddenly appears. In other relationships, things sometimes suddenly appear that can cloud our judgment. This can be troublesome, especially when it normally happens that those closest to us brings about the change in the atmosphere. Fog develops and our visibility is impacted. Have you ever said to yourself, I can't see why he or she could do something like that? It's the fog. If you've ever thought to yourself, I can't see any way out, it's the fog. Well, I think that I've made my point, and so that I can cover other weather patterns, let me remind you from the definition that fog can form suddenly and can dissipate just as rapidly. So, here's the suggestion. Turn your headlights on and proceed with caution until it dissipates. Then you will be able to see clearly and make better decisions. Now, I'm not a weatherman, but fog is one of the many changes that takes place due to weather, and all of the changes are mostly brought about due to the jet stream. The jet stream is responsible for areas of high and low pressure, which, as you can see here, can cause wetter conditions out west and warmer conditions in the south and to the east coast. In other words, the winds of change will always impact the atmosphere. In relationship, winds of change, whether favorable or catastrophic, will generate a reaction in our lives. These winds sometimes cause an increase in the amount of rainfall, tears in a relationship, for instance, or other forms of precipitation like sweat, for instance, when things get hot, and the temperature to either increase or decrease. In an effort to help us to better prepare for the changes, meteorologists study weather patterns, collect data, evaluate the data, and then prepare forecasts based on the aforementioned, and then reports their best predictions to us. As we draw to a close in this edition of Practical Assertion, let me suggest to you that you pay attention to the forecast. Listen to it, consider what is presented, realizing that much research has gone into the forecast. If the meteorologist says that it's going to rain, snow, or be hot, don't you think it would be a good idea to dress accordingly? Why is it that we sometimes do this as it relates to the weather, but fail to do so in our relationships? I can't tell you how many individuals I've counseled who listen to the forecast about their relationship, many times predicting by themselves once they've considered all the data, and yet refuse to dress accordingly. We've all seen individuals on the coldest days pull their arms through their short sleeves to try to warm themselves. I assume that they didn't get the forecast. Even more dangerous than that, how about those individuals who are caught out in severe weather like tornadoes or hurricanes, those violent storms, because they simply did not heed the warnings? Abusive relationships are the equivalent to tornadoes and hurricanes and yet many refuse to heed the warnings. Pay attention to the forecast. If you're in an abusive relationship, heed the warning and find the shelter. If you're in a pleasant weather pattern in your relationship, enjoy and celebrate in the warmth and gentle breeze. If things are a little shaky or foggy, check with your local relationship meteorologist, that is your counselor, minister, or advisor, read some books, or take part in one of our workshops or courses, which can be found on our website at the address shown on your screen. Or you can comment on our blog page, let us know what it is you need, and we'll make sure that we get you the help that you're looking for. So, that's this edition of Practical Assertion. We hope that it's been beneficial to you. Again, if you hear the horns sounding, that means severe weather is about. Your friends, your family, your co-workers have all sounded the alarm for you. Pay attention to the forecast. We'll look forward to seeing you next week. So take care and join us then. Goodbye.